So wave cycle. Wave cycle is one of the simplest animations that you create. Maybe not as simple as the pendulum, but one of the simplest animations you create nonetheless. It's like it's this. Let me use this hand. It's like this action. Yeah. So a tail, a wagging tail, a dog's tail, a blade of grass in the wind. You know, in some cases even perhaps a tree, a very flexible tree in a hurricane or so. You know. So that's what we are trying to simulate with a wave cycle. It's a simple formula. You just need to follow the formula and you'll be safe, you'll be fine. So let's get cracking. Let's go. Hey, welcome to the breakdown for the wave cycle. The wave cycle is a nice, oh dear, this feels too thick. The wave cycle is a nice little exercise because really you get a formula. I know you should be looking at my slides and you'll see the reference information inside the slide. I know you can't see what is on the screen, but I have my phone here with my reference so that I can see what it is that I need to create for that wave cycle. My suggestion to you is have the slides up while you're doing this exercise so that you have the information right there with you. Okay. So for this exercise you're gonna need 15 sheets. Again, I don't need 15 sheets. You will need 15 sheets of paper, right? I'm just gonna do what you need to do. I'm just gonna get you started for this exercise. All right, so let's put this over here. Boom, boom, boom. Why this? Like this paper, are they married or something? I don't know. Married don't mean that we need to be up together all the time, you know. Dear Lord. All right, so got my pencil. So the first thing, just like what we did with the pendulum and the bouncing ball, the first thing we're gonna do is the timing chart. All right, now this one is a little bit different. So again, I don't have a ruler, so I'm just gonna do a sort of straight-ish one to resemble a straight line thing going on here. So let's make it a little bit darker now, shall we? All right. My goodness. There we go. All right. Now with the wave cycle, the arc that is created on the wave cycle is actually, it makes a figure 8. So one of the easiest ways to make that figure 8 is, I'm just gonna plant my hand right in the center and I'm just gonna make an arc again. All right, and then one more thing. In the pendulum, I almost forgot that midpoint. All right, so what I just did, because I know it's light, I just created an arc and I just created a line in the center. I was using those as markers. So now I want to draw that figure 8. So it's a really weird looking figure 8. Do I say a bastardization of a figure 8? Why not? All right. All right, so that's what we're gonna use as our timing chart now. This squished up, weird looking figure 8, right? Now what we're tracking is the tip of the tail. So I had this cross here so that we could map the root of the tail, and then this figure 8 is mapping the tip of the tail. Now, all right, it's a formula. All right, so again, just bring up your reference. I'm using my cell phone with the slides. I suggest having the computer so it's nice and big in front of you, right? And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna mark off the points where drawings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 will be. So about here, I am literally, now you can actually use the same poster pose action, poster pose that I showed you before to get the rest of them. So about halfway between 1 and here, about 2, and then midway again we have 3, and you can have 4 somewhere here or down here if you want. So let me just make those a little darker, and then 5, 6, 7, so 7 would land somewhere here. So midway between that, thereof, about here for 6, and about here for 5. All right, and then now we have 8, 9, 10, 11 on this side. We're just gonna match it up back. So I'm gonna match 4 and 11 in about the same spot. And then again, midway, so let me see, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we have 12 coming up, and I'm just gonna sort of line it back up. 12, 14 will end up somewhere here. So again, 11, 12, 13, 14. So just about midway. All right. Now, if you notice, it's not an exact science with a wave cycle, but when the tail is coming down, it's slowing down. And again, you notice the distance between these strokes are getting smaller and smaller. So it's slowing down. It's going at about a constant speed when it's coming up, and then again start slowing down when it comes on the other end. So let me draw my arrows, which is what remember we did our arrows in the pendulum so that we know what direction it was going in. The same thing with the wave cycle. This is just something I like to do. I draw the arrow, so it's going down on this top arc, and then coming back up over on this side, and then it goes over to the top, come back down, and then comes up on the inner arc to end up at 14. And it's a cycle. Now because it's a cycle, it's gonna now go back again to 1, come back around 14 to 1, and blah blah blah. So let's number them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, let's put that on the outside. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So by now you should have realized I'm always adding 1 to the number of drawings to tell you the number of paper that you need to use. So we have 14 drawings plus the timing chart, which makes 15 sheets of paper. All right, then the next thing we need to do is simply draw the curve based on what is in the slide. So there we have a nice little curve. Alright, now let's add a little bit more curve to it. Let's add a little bit more curve to it. There we go. Oh crap. I'm doing that on the timing chart. I shouldn't be doing that. No! Chevy, you're teaching the students the wrong thing. My apologies. So, I have now my fastener. I don't know, it disappeared when I was doing my bouncing ball exercise. But now I have my fastener. And so now for one, we simply use the position that we have, for the tip of the tail for one, and the root of the tail. So a nice little arc going in for one. And you notice I'm just trying to plant my hand in one spot, and then so that way the curve comes out nice, ish. And drawing one. Make sure it's labeled drawing one. I think I should come somewhere because I want you to see. I want you to see something. Why does it seem like is it that they're married? I don't know why they don't wanna. They don't wanna part. Married life doesn't mean that you're together all the time. Jeez. All right. So continuing. So for drawing two, the curve gets a little, now drawing one, the entire tail is going in that direction. By the time we get to drawing two, however, the root of the tail is now going in that direction, but because of overlapping action and follow through, the tip of the tail still is going in that direction. So the root is going this direction, right? And the tip of the tail is still going in that direction. So what's happening is we have a little curve going on at the root to say, because again, remember the root is going in that direction, right? But the tip is still the tip is still flowing, still heading to the left. So that's drawing two. Now I'm gonna leave on drawing two so that you can see something. For drawing three, the root for drawing three must be higher than what's happening with the root in drawing two, and it's gonna be a little bit more tapered off on the tip. How about that works? Because now what's happening is more of the root is heading in that direction. So the tip of the tail is just tapering off now. Right? So that's drawing three. And drawing four. Yeah, I definitely need to do another one, because I want you to see what happens when it changes direction completely. Alright. And then drawing four, it's getting really dark now. I'm not sure if you're able to see it. But for drawing four, the root now is going even more in the opposite direction. And the tip of the tail is getting really tapered off. Something like that. I think I made it a little bit too high, but nonetheless. And remember, all I'm doing, I'm just going by what my reference is on the slide, right? And this is drawing 4. Now by the time we get to drawing 5, so I'm just going to remove drawings 2 and 3. And I'm going to put back drawing 4. And need one more sheet. One more sheet, one more sheet. I know, right? You can say that I taught Tessa how to sing, yeah? I know. Teaching is my passion, so I didn't go down that road. We can express our creativity in so many different ways. Oh my God, Tessa is really gonna sue me. All right, I'm joking, okay? All right, so by the time we get to drawing 5, the entire tail now is going in the opposite direction. Entire tail. So this one, even though we're following a formula, just look at your reference and keep in mind what is happening with the tail. So by drawing 1, we are, let me just put them in order. Awesome. Let me find out one to the timing chart page and it looks like everybody love it. And 4, 3, 4, 5. All right, so for drawing 1, the entire tail is going in that direction. By the time we get to drawing 2, only the root is going in that direction, but of course, because of follow through and overlapping action, the tip of the tail is still going down, right? Then more of the root is heading in that direction. And then even more of the root is heading in the opposite direction, until finally there comes a point where the entire tail is going in one direction. So that's the wave cycle. I've stopped at drawing 5, but I expect you to go all the way up to drawing 14. Remember, keep a close eye on your reference, so that way you get an idea as to what the curves look like. And after this, we're gonna again use Stop Motion Studio to create the pencil test from these drawings. All right, good luck. All right, welcome to creating the pencil test for the wave cycle. Woo! You reached 3 pencil tests already. Oh, not animator, don't it? Yeah. All right, so again, I have my Stop Motion Studio queued up. I have my drawings waiting for me to photograph them. I think they're models, I'm not sure. So again, I am taking the drawing. You just make sure that the drawing is in it and the drawing number is also included. Whoa, why did it look like I think I took 2 photos a while ago. So I'm just gonna use the app, click on it and press delete. And it's flopping me in front of everyone and not deleting one of them. All right, we'll say hang time. All right, drawing 2, check. All right, so if you recall, I only went up to 5 drawings. Yeah, so hold. You don't want to delete. There we go. Nope. Thoroughly flopping me in front of my audience. There we go. No, it deleted the wrong one. Oh, goodness gracious.
Oh goodness. All right. So I got drawing 1 and drawing 3, deleted drawing 2. So I guess this is a learning moment. Thank you, app. Let us retake drawing 2. So I made a mistake a while ago, and I accidentally deleted drawing 2. So this is a good teachable moment. I'm gonna retake drawing 2. The last time I did this, I simply said copy. So let me turn this to you. So what I did, I just retook drawing 2. I simply said copy, and I want it in second position. Copy. There we go. Paste. Right, so now we have it in place. So now we have drawing 1, drawing 2, drawing 3, drawing 4, drawing 5, and we have a copy of drawing 2. So I want to delete that one. And I'm not doing any more deletes. There we go. Woo! Teachable moment. And I thought this was going to be a short video. All right. Press play. And of course, I only have half of my wave, so you're not seeing it in its entirety. But I'm going to say it looks really beautiful. It's the most beautiful wave I've ever seen. If yours is not as beautiful as mine, don't feel any way. Remember, I'm the instructor. And I hope that phrase just challenged you to go further. All right, so that's it for the pencil test for the wave cycle. Don't forget to save it and export it as a video or an animated GIF or as a series of images. All right, bye. Hello. Today we'll be looking at the wave cycle. This one is pretty simple. Well, let's take a look at it. You should know the drill by now, how to set it up, tell it where to store the file, give it a file name, and call in mind the wave cycle. And by the name, you should realize by now we're doing the wave cycle animation using Toon Boom Harmony, right? All right, so again, I'm using version 10.3, but I'll have some other videos in other versions, so you can take a look on those if that's not the version that you're using, okay? All right, so HDTV, create. All right, and every time when you get into Harmony, just ensure to turn off Running Man. All right, so the wave cycle, as I was saying before, it's pretty simple. All you need to do is to do a search. All right, and under images, you'll find it, and it's the same image that I have given you in your notes. So this is the one we're looking for, and we're focusing on the one on the left. So if you notice, again, based on the breakdown and the pencil test that we did, we are simply recreating these shapes, right? That one is a bit small. All right, a little bit bigger. So have your reference up while you are creating. Now, my suggestion, just like when we were doing the pencil test, we have one layer that outlines, you know, the arc. Does this look familiar? All right. I'm gonna use the brush tool. Well, first I'm gonna use an arc, an ellipse, just so that I can have some kind of marker. And now I can use my brush tool and just, okay, that's not thick enough. Alright. Oh dear, I made it too broad. Alright. So let's just bring this in a little. Alright, so just a guide. Alright, as well, we need to mark off the points for drawings 1 through to 14. So there we go again. So as you can see, we're going from 1 and the tip is making that 8. Just like before that we discussed in the pencil test. So we're going to be going down this arc, we're going to be going up and then down and then up. All right, so 1, and again these are just rough estimates as to, I'm going halfway now between these 2 points, or thereof. 3, 4. Alright, so I'm gonna go a little bit about halfway again now. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Uh-oh, I missed one. Ah. This is one of the cool things with the drawing pencil. As you can see, I can just spin around my drawing pencil, the pencil for attached to my drawing tablet, and I automatically get the eraser tool. So 12, 13 and 14. All right, now we already know this is gonna take 14 frames, so we just need to click on frame 14. You can be boss like me and simply click on frame 14, or you can out the top click in frame 14, or for the newer versions of Harmony, that window would be down here. You just click on frame 14, right? And I extend the exposure because I want to be able to see it for those 14 frames. Create a new drawing layer, and this will be my wave. Now this is how I suggest that you create. Harmony has some really nice features. So, and of course I'm gonna change the color. Let me see what thickness we have. 20 is good. All right, so it's now just drawing straight lines from the points to this central point here in the center. So I'm sure we're gonna time lapse. Silly Chevy. I'm sure we're gonna time lapse this information, but I just made a mistake a while ago. This is a good learning moment. I was actually on frame 14 when I created 1. I should be on 1 to create 1, and then click on 2 to create 2, and so on and so forth. So let the time lapse begin. Alright, so now we have all 14 drawings, right? And I can actually bring down my stop to frame 14. If I press play right now, let's dial it down to about 7. And if I press play, well, repeat and press play, already we're seeing it. Yeah, it's not looking bad. Alright, now one of the cool things with Harmony, it's a vector program. So now I can actually use my contour editor and add curves to our lines. And what I want you to notice, we can also turn on onion skins so we can see what's happening. So we can look back on the reference so you can see the shape. So for 1, it's totally going in that direction. Same information as we did when we did our pencil test. 2 is when it begins to head in the opposite direction. And we just make sure that the opposite direction for 2 is above the drawing for 1. And the same thing for 3. It is above the drawing for 2. Just like we did in the pencil test. And I'm trying to maintain the volume of the, well, I almost said a tail a while ago, right? So it shouldn't feel that much longer. It shouldn't feel like it's the same length. It's just being curved. And then 9, we have that change in direction. And just as before, just ensure that 9 is just above 8. The root of 9 is just above the root of 8. have it. So now I press play. Yeah. All right, so just like before, I can minimize you. Just like before, right now it's at 7 frames per second. If we export this video, it's gonna turn out to be much faster. So we need to set it back to 24 frames per second. All right, and I think I'm okay with that speed. So I'm gonna leave it on 1s. Now remember, if you would want to change yours to be on 2s, it's completely up to you. There we go. All right, so that's it for creating the wave cycle using Harmony. All right, so let's make sure that this sets to desktop. And fill in the necessary information, and it will export. That's it. Okay.
All right, so was I lying? Was I lying, right? Wasn't that a simple buy the formula, buy the book animation? You just need to follow the key poses that were provided and you'll be fine. So you know what to do again, right? You know what I'm going to say, right? Right? You need to practice it. So after you've finished completing this animation, do it again. And then do it again. And then do it again until you are proficient at it. And then challenge yourself. So what would a blade of grass look like in the wind? Or what would a wagging tail look like? Or what would a tree look like in a hurricane? And try find other examples that you would see the wave cycle and try to apply that drawing using the same formula that we just went through. Sounds fair? All right.